Hello. Again, I'm Farmer Samson Ogbole. Welcome to today's lecture. This is the final part in this series that we've been looking at. Now, if you just joined or you just probably came back online and you are thinking, let me just jump and start from here, I would advise please try to go back and watch the previous series that we have done so that you have a perfect grasp of what we have been talking about. So, since we started from first building a core. We said there is a core, so we said the core in this case was you. So we are still talking about building a perfect structure for your business. Building a perfect structure for your business, that's what we've been talking about. So we said first you have the suppliers. So the suppliers could be for your inputs, whomever it is you need to work with, so that you are able to get whatever it is you need, whether as raw materials or whatever it is you need to function. Then we said there is a market, so your output goes to a market where you have a chance to exchange your value for money or for cash. So we said what when you are trying to build a structure. So for those who just joined, let me remind us of what we said in our lecture one. We said I gave an example of the story of Joseph, where I said that a lot of people have this story around, oh, Joseph became prime minister because he interpreted a dream. And I say, I don't think that is the truth. That is oversimplifying the process. For the fact that he interpreted the dream of the king, the best position he should have gotten is chief priest. That is the chief, whatever it is, that is in charge of spiritual thingy for the kingdom. That is the best he should have gotten. However, what made him prime minister was not because he interpreted the dream, but rather because he provided a strategy for success. And I said that as a business, you may have the right vision, the right mission, the objectives are well spelled out, your business plan is awesome, you have your good financial outlay. If we do not have a proper strategy as a business, it is only a matter of time we would run out. And remember, like I always say, now, when you look at strategy, it's like looking at a baby and an adult. Now, if you look at a baby, there is no organ or system in a baby that is not also present in the adult. So, in the baby, there is a heart, there are lungs, there are kidneys. In the adult, these all same things are there. Now, the only difference between the baby and the adult is time. Because if the baby has the same organs, the same systems that the adult has, in a matter of time, that baby would become an adult. Sorry, just a minute. We're looking at rivalries, structure, building a structure, building a business structure. So it's only a matter of time that baby would become an adult. It's just a matter of time. But remember what we also said, that if the baby does not have the same systems that the adult has, in a matter of time, the baby would die. So if, for example, the circulatory system, the respiratory system, excretory system, digestive system, whatever system that is missing in the baby that is present in the adult, in a matter of time, that baby would die. Same thing, the difference between a small business and a big business is the structure, the systems that are in place. So a small business that will become a big business is a small business that has developed the right systems that the big business has in their small system. So once those small systems are in place, or rather once those systems are in place in the small business, in a matter of time, that small business will become big business. But if the small business does not have those systems in place, in a matter of time, the small business will die. So interpretation, the longevity or the death of a small business is predicated on whether or not they have right structures in place. Now, if that makes sense, when we look at a business in trying to build a structure, we started this series, this is the 5th episode, we said there is a need to look at this from the theory proposed by Michael Porter in 1979, which we call the Porter's Five. So we said, as a business, this is us at the middle, as a business, the first thing that we need to look at is what is the probability of new entrants. The new entrants, because we said that every time a new entrant comes into the business, your profitability as an existing business reduces. Why? Many a time the market is not expanding because a new entrant is coming in, which means they might be taking away from the market you have to service. And we said as an existing business, it is your job, we talked about the factors you can use to increase the barrier that would make new entrants not to easily succeed within that system or within that sector. That is your job as a business. Put in structures that makes it hard for new entrants not to come in easily. On the flip side, if you are the new entrant that is trying to come in, then you need to understand these barriers and how to use them to your advantage as stepping stones. That was our discussion in class 1. In class 2, we talked about the other power, which is the bargaining power of suppliers, where we said the supplier has the power enough to determine the profitability or the loss of your business, because they are the people you depend on to work. I was discussing with one of my mentors. He made a statement. He said, a proper business makes money when they are bargaining as opposed to when they are selling. So when you are bargaining, meaning when you are buying, you make money from when you are buying than when you are selling. Because if we are able to tame our cost at the supply level, most of the time we may not be the one setting the price at the market level. Market forces may come at play at that. But if I am able to ensure I am able to control my price at the supply level, I would work towards better profitability. So as a business, we also talked about the factors we must look at in trying to put structures in place around the supplier's perspective. Then number 3, we looked at the market. We called it the bargaining power of buyers, because the market also has a role to play in our profitability or loss as a business. So that was number 3. And the 4th lecture was around the threat of substitute products or services. So yes, you are in business, but there are products that can be used as substitute for what you are doing. Remember what we always say, that as a business you must understand that your customer comes to buy your product for the job to be done. So if there is a job to be done, the customer is coming because of the job to be done. It's not about some emotional blackmail or anything, but rather there is a job to be done. So in today's class, we'll be looking at the final part of this. I can't find my tissue that I use for my board. We'll be looking at the final part of this, which is on rivalry amongst existing competitors. Rivalry amongst existing competitors. So this is the last part of the Potter's 5. Rivalry amongst existing competitors. This is the last part we will be looking at. The rivalry amongst existing competitors, so that we are able to use this to build a structure. So rivalry amongst existing competitors. So this is the 5th aspect of trying to build a formidable structure. So again, we are going to look at the factors that we must consider. Now, before I go into this, it's important that we understand that there are different types of competitions or different types of competitors, so that we are not fighting competitors who do not exist or who do not affect our bottom line. By bottom line, I mean our profitability. For example, if I have, let's say we have 2 companies who have same products but different markets, or let me put it like this. So same products, different market. This is scenario A. We are selling the same products, but we are selling to different kinds of markets. This is not a competition. A perfect an example I can use would be people selling phones. So there are 2 shops next to each other. They are both selling phones, but one is selling Techno phone, the other is selling Apple phone. Now, the kind of people that are looking for Apple phone to buy have no business entry where they sell techno. And in some cases, the guys looking for techno and their likes to buy do not go to where the Apple phones are. So, although their product is the same, their market is different. An example around agriculture is tomatoes. I have my tomatoes for a particular kind of market, not the open market. There are those that have their tomatoes for the open market. So, although we are both selling tomatoes, we are not competitors. It's like having an eatery next to a mama put. The eatery and the mama put, yes, they are both selling food, but they are not selling to the same kind of customers. So it will be a folly for the person that owns the eatery to start going to fight the person that owns mama put and say, you are taking my customers. Now, the base scenario is we have different products but the same market. Different product, same market. Different product, same market. The perfect example that comes to my head is I am selling ewagon, that's beans. You are selling bread. Our products are different, but our market is the same. So this is not a competition, rather we should be collaborating, because if you sell yours, I can sell mine. If I sell, you can sell yours. But where we are looking at competition is we have same product, same market. Same product, same market. So our rivalry amongst existing competitors trying to build structure, we are looking at people who have same product and same market. So it's not tomatoes versus tin tomatoes or tin tomatoes versus tomato puree. No, we are saying you have the same product and you have the same market. So you are looking at your business right now, and in your business you're looking at who are the people that I have same product with and I have same market with. How do I build a structure to ensure that either we both coexist or I outlive them? So same market and same product. So the number one key is know the number of competitors. First, you need to know the number of competitors that you have where you are. How many competitors do I have to deal with as a business? So I am going to start selling tomatoes in Ojota and I want to build a shop for my tomatoes. How many other people are selling tomatoes this way? I need to know. I need to know. It's like going into a football match or wrestling or boxing and you do not know anything about your opponent. No, you need to know how many competitors do I have. That is very critical in building a structure. The number of competitors, you should know them. That is why many a time when you go for things like applying for grants and all of that, there's always a part they will ask, who are your competitors? Because it's an expectation that you should know your competitors. You do not live in isolation. You do not live in, what is it called, alone. You should know. It's important. Number two is, in building the structure, is what is the diversity? Diversity of competitors. By diversities, we are asking what makes them unique. Because remember that all these companies cannot be doing the same thing exactly the same way. What is their diversity? What makes them unique? Is it that, okay, there is this shop next to me, they sell tomatoes but they deliver. These other guys have fine packaging. These other guys have cool AC, like the place is super cool that people come into the shop and even relax. These other guys, they will even help you take the tomatoes and help you grind and do all of that for free. What makes it unique? You need to know. Because you see, you need to know what is the thing that they have to offer that makes the customer prefer them. What is the thing that they are doing as an extra that makes them a preference for the customers that are coming to your shopping mall? They see you with tomatoes, see them with tomatoes, see 10 different tomatoes, and they walked past other tomatoes to come to their tomato. What is the diversity of your competitors? You need to know. What is their different selling point? Is it that one of them has this very handsome guy that is in charge of sales, or this pretty lady that is in charge of bookkeeping that makes them get customers? You need to know. What is their diversity? What makes them unique? Or is it that their advantage is that they are downstairs while you are upstairs? So people see your shop from far, but they come to them first because they are at the bottom. So it's you that is doing the advert. It is them that is getting the customers. I'll give an example of this that happened a while back. I think that was Area versus Clean. One of them was the guy doing the whole major advert. The other guy was the one selling. Because people get to the market and it is their product that they see, like, oh, your own is everywhere, 10 naira. Meanwhile, the other guy was doing higher, what's it called, denomination and packs. And later, before they learned and realized we need to bring our price down because these guys are making money off us. So, what is the diversity of your competitors you need to know in your business? So, it's not just about I am selling pepper, or I'm doing tomatoes, or I am doing cassava, gari, or whatever. What makes these guys unique? What makes people prefer them? What is their selling point? Check out if they have social media page. What is the thing they preach about themselves that makes them unique? What is the thing that makes them unique? Number 3 is industry concentration. You need to know industry concentration and balance. So, for example, you are saying, oh, I am into tomato production, or I'm using myself as an example, I'm into lettuce selling, I'm into pepper selling and all of that. What is the concentration of people doing the same thing that I am doing? I need to know, so that I need to understand, am I really filling a gap, or am I just following the crowd? How many of us are in this location? How many of us are saying the same thing in this location? I need to know. What is the balance? Is there something they are not doing that I am doing that balances it out? Or are we all in the same place doing exactly the same thing? So the customer comes to our area and what they are getting is the same thing in multiple forms. Because remember what we said in our class under the bargaining power of buyers, that when everybody concentrated in an area is doing the same thing, then you have given your power to the buyer. Because now when the buyer comes, you are the one chasing them. But if you are not all doing the same thing, but there is a balance in what you are doing. I am doing tomatoes, you are doing pepper, the other person is doing pineapple, the other person is doing another vegetable. Yes, we are all in the olericulture value chain, the vegetable value chain, but we are balancing each other out. So which means because we are balancing each other out, we are taking the power away from the customer. We are able to call the shots. But if we are in a place where there is industry concentration, it means that by the time you are giving me your price, you are giving me your offer and all of that, I am pushing, the customer is pushing back by telling you that this other person is offering me this. So you are forced to up your own offer in a way to counter another offer. So it means at the end of the day, except you are in a union, if you are not in a union, at the end of the day, the customer is the one making the killing, making the buck out of it, while you as the person doing the sales, you are at a loss. So it's important to understand what is the industry concentration and what is the balance. There is a part that not many of us, I don't know if it's still like that. I remember those days when you go to what's the name of this street, going towards in Lagos, around that Ikeja route before on that bridge. Those days there used to be a whole lot of boutiques in that area. And there was something beautiful about the boutiques. They were many, but they had a uniqueness in what they sold. So what you get in A, you will not get exactly the same thing in B, C, D, or E. So it simply meant that there was although they were all boutiques, they played off each other to create a balance. They've learned how to play off each other to create a balance, such that you cannot go to B and come back and say B is offering me this, why are you not offering me that? A is offering me their head on a platter of gold, why are you not giving me your whole body on a platter of gold? No, you could not get that. Why? They understood the industry concentration and they created a balance. So although there were many on that row, they have created a balance that it took the power away from the customer. Then number 4 in trying to build this is industry growth. And for agriculture, this is super beautiful. So for example, we are 10 of us supplying lettuce. Just an example, we are all supplying lettuce to, let's say, Ikeja. Now you would agree that because we are 10 supplying to Ikeja, our market would have gotten a niche. But if you understand that what we are producing, the demand of this thing would go up, it means that the money we have available to make would also increase. So, for example, I said it's beautiful we're in agriculture because in agri we understand that, oh, with our proximity to Lagos, we are checking the numbers daily. We are checking, okay, what is the population growth? What is the statistics saying about the number of people that are moving into Lagos per day? How does this come back and play off on our financials? How does this come back and play on our demand? Okay, the kind of people that are coming into Lagos, what kind of crop are they most likely to buy? That makes any sense. Oh, we are looking at, okay, what are the number of people that what's it called now, expatriates that are coming into the country? Where are they landing? Which part of Lagos are they going to? Okay, how can we sell in that region instead? Even if we have to do adverts and all of that on social media, how can we target such locations that people in that locations are the people that get to see it? So industry growth plays a big role in competition, because if the industry you are in a sector, or you are in a niche where the growth rate is slow and there are new entrants coming in, it is going to affect your bottom line. But if you are in an area where there is a higher industry growth because of the fact that maybe there is more demand for what you are doing or something, or people are falling out or something, then that would help your structure to know, okay, this is where we are now, this is where we are going to be going to next. Oh, the mirror image, sorry, because of it has to be mirror image. Always say they are only seeing the mirror image, sorry. Then next is industry life cycle. Industry life cycle. Every industry has a life cycle. That is why you have big brands. Every once in a while, you will see them relaunch themselves. Either they will tell you, oh, we are rebranding. A perfect example, you have this, like the likes of Bonvita, Coca-Cola. They do it all the time. They relaunch. They'll tell you, oh, we are changing our brand logo, or we are changing the shape of our container, or we are changing the color or something. Why? They understand the life cycle of where they are. So the question is, for you that is in agri, do you understand the life cycle of the product that you are doing? For people that always ask, oh, how do you get some of this information? There is one of these websites that you can check. They call it something Research and Markets. And it has a lot of information about Nigeria products. A lot of information about Nigerian products to the nitty-gritty, that you can even go state by state if you want to see, okay, what is the cycle of this crop? When would this be needed at its peak? When would the peak come down? When would the price go up? When would the price come down? You need to know all of these things amongst your competitors, because this would help you position yourself in the midst of competitors. Number 6, we have quality differences. Quality differences. Quality. What is the difference in quality between you and your competitors? I am one of those that believe honestly that as somebody producing something, you can differentiate your quality from other people's own. You know when your quality is top notch, you should also know when your quality is not top notch. I believe that sincerely, that you know. So what is the quality difference between yours and your competitors? Because if you need to market your brand or advertise your brand, you are meant to market your difference, market your advantage, market your value. That's supposed to be your whole point. So, but you need to know what is the quality difference. Because if, for example, let's say, I don't want to call company names, but let's say I am producing, okay, let's say I have tomatoes, you have tomatoes. My tomatoes can spend a month on your shelf without getting spoiled. Your own tomatoes will not spend a month without getting without getting spoiled. You already know that my quality is better. So the way you advertise your tomatoes cannot be the same way I advertise my tomatoes. You see me advertise and I say things like, oh, take our tomatoes, it has 2 weeks shelf life, 3 weeks shelf life. That is me talking about my advantage, my strong point. You can now look at, oh, since they have higher quality, what is the thing that I have that I can push? Then obviously you now know, oh, the market I am speaking to, let me leave them, because what they are looking for is long shelf life. Maybe I should go for those ones that are looking for what's that tomato corner that is spoiled that people usually like in the market, especially all these Buka Hut and all of, not Buka Hut, like Buka, like smaller mama put. Then the next is product differentiation. Product differentiation. So there is quality differentiation, there is product differentiation. Product differentiation is, can we differentiate your product from that of your competitors in the market? If I see your product in the market, is there a way to differentiate your products? If not, then you know that there are issues. except you are probably in an area. That is why right now we have our packaging. So you buy our product, it comes in our packages, except you are doing bulk purchase like maybe a ton or 2 tons, then we cannot come with packaging materials. So do you have product differentiation? Have you thought of a way to create a differentiation in your product? I have had some people call me, they'll be like, we saw so tomatoes somewhere. That's your tomatoes. I'll just smile. Why? They are able to. Now, it's not enough to have product differentiation. You need to let your customers know how to differentiate your product. That is why at times you see some drug companies and other companies advertising their product and telling you, we know there are fakes out there. To know our product, this is how you differentiate it. It is a deliberate thing. It's not because they understand that there are existing competitors, so they need to create a structure to ensure that they survive within that competition. So, do you have product differentiation built into your system? Then the next is number 8, brand identity and loyalty. Brand identity and loyalty. Do you have brand identity? Is there a way for us to identify your brand? Is there a way for us to take note that, this is from so brand, this is from so brand? Then do you have incentives to push for brand loyalty? Or do you have a structure in place that ensures brand loyalty? Take for instance, we have some of our customers that we say, if you want to buy, for example, beef stick tomatoes are supposed to be 1,200 per kilo. But we say if you sign up with that, you are going to be buying beef stick tomatoes a specific quantity every week for the next 6 months. For the next 3 months, we sell to you at 1,000 naira per kilo. We sell to you at 1 per kilo, depending on the longevity of your contract and the volume. Now, because of that, there is loyalty. And because of that, the person knows that, I have paid down for this money. When they say tomato price has gone up, pepper price has gone south, it doesn't matter. My tomatoes will come, my pepper will come. And because of that subscription method, we are able to push the brand loyalty. And because they have eaten our tomatoes again and again and again and again and again, if they go to any other place and taste another tomatoes, they automatically feel, this is not tasting right. Why? They are now used to a particular taste, used to a particular brick score of tomatoes, used to a particular shelf life. So something different becomes abnormal. So with that, there is brand loyalty. Then that makes any sense. So do you have a method of pushing for brand loyalty for your farm, for your business, for your agric output, and so on and so forth? Next is switching costs. Number 9. We've always discussed about switching costs. So you remember we said that switching cost is the cost that the customer would bear from switching from you to your competitors, to your rivalries. So do you know what it will cost your customer to leave you to your rivalries? If you don't know, you need to figure it out. So that your job as a business is to try to ensure that the cost of leaving you to your rival is high. So your customer is most likely not willing to pay a high price. And remember what we said, that switching cost is not always monetary value. Switching cost can be something as simple as psychological, mental. It can be health. It can be time. Time in the sense that, so maybe you know that all the people around you do not deliver. So now you've decided to start delivering to your customers. Now, the customer knows that what it is going to cost me to switch from this man that delivers to me is I need to be coming out to pick up. And if they not think of all the traffic, all the headache, all the shouts on the road before they get to pick up, they're like, it's not worth it. Let them just be delivering to us. So have you taken time to find a way of putting in a high switching cost so that your customers are not willing to leave you? That they are willing to stay put, knowing, this is good. Then the next is intermittent overcapacity. Intermittent overcapacity. So there is always this thing around agric at times where you overproduce more than your market. So look at you and your competitors and figure out who amongst us tend to always overproduce. What are the factors that usually brings about this overproduction? What are the things I need to put in place not to have overcapacity? Because when you overproduce, it means you are going to waste. So now, when you understand these things, your job is to ensure that your competitors overproduce when there is no market. They can overproduce when there is no market. If they are perishable goods, it is fine. But your job is to ensure you do not make that same mistake as a business. That you do not stock up more than what you can sell. That you do not go and bring in things that nobody is looking for. Next is informational complexity. Informational complexity. So at times you look at, oh, you have this information to give out, but it is too your information is too, what's the word I'm looking for now, is too complicated that people do not even understand what you are saying. It's too complicated that people that even need your service read it and walk past. So look at, oh, there are other people that have been doing advert about something, and people, you are seeing people pick up their flyer, read it and drop, read it and drop. You too now, you are going to create the exact same content for your own flyer. And people that have been reading those flyers, they are not really getting converted to come, and you want to follow the same route. No, because it means that the information is in a way that the reader is not able to take advantage of it. To come, and because remember what we said, it's not just about, oh, you have done an information in marketing, how many are being converted to sales? It's very essential. So look at your information. Is it something that is complex? Is it too complex for the customers to understand? Such that, oh, your customers are, the customers are supposed to buy, they are reading and passing. So for example, you are looking at, oh, some of your customers, so you are in an area where there is industry concentration. All of you are selling tomatoes, and some people went to do flyers, and you see some people that did flyers, people are picking the flyers, reading and dropping. Get somebody to follow. Why did you throw away the flyer? Like, I didn't understand what they were saying. Interpretation, the information is too complex. Oh, why did you throw away the flyer? Is it for tomatoes they are doing flyer? When they should have just drawn one tomato and we understand. They just say, come and buy and put tomato. We understand what they are saying. So be sure that you are not following your competitors just because you see them do something and you feel, oh, maybe this is working. Meanwhile, it's not working. Then finally is the barrier to exit. Barrier to exit. So you are already in the business. You are doing the business. What are the barriers that are in place that stops people from getting out? Now, if it is a business where you are making profit and you feel, oh, I need to get more people to leave this business so that I can increase my profitability, then your job as a business is to find out, how do I reduce this barrier to exit so that more people can get out? A perfect example, I think sometimes last month or so, if I'm not wrong, when the US sued the likes of, I think, Google, Amazon, and I can't remember the other company that they sued. And the reason for that was they realized that a lot of people that come into that space tend to exit very fast. Interpretation, they understood that these guys have understood the key to barrier to exit, that they have reduced the barrier so much that these people come in with all the hype, like we are going to make it, with all the enthusiasm, and before you know what is happening, they are broken and all, and what happens is they exit. So when the barrier to exit is very easy, people can come in easily and get out easily. They come in easily, they can come in maybe difficult and all of that, but getting out is very easy. So we can now use all of this to build a structure around how to deal with rivalry amongst existing competitors. You want to deal with rivalry amongst the existing competitors, walk through this, know your number of competitors, know their diversity, what makes them unique, know the industry concentration, where are they really in, how many of us are here, how many of what are we all doing, what do we have any uniqueness, then do we have a balance? Next, how fast is this industry growing, how fast is this sector growing? Then what is the life cycle of where we are in this industry? What is our quality difference? Then what is the product difference? Can the customer identify our products and differentiators? Do we have a brand identity and brand loyalty? What is the switching cost for the customer to leave us to another brand? Then what is the switching cost for the customer to leave that brand and come to us? You need to know, because your job is, you want to make the switching cost high for the customer to leave you to another brand, but you want to make it easy for them to leave that brand and come to you. The switching cost to be low for them to leave that brand and come to you. What is the intermittent overcapacity? What is the informational complexity that might come in? And finally, what is the barrier to exit? So thank you. In our next class, we will go on continue with our sales technique, as we still continue to build structures around